Four teams remain in the chase for the Division I state crown. Kalani, the runners-up of the OIA, in the semifinals for the third year in a row, taking on Iolani, the number 2 seed in the tournament, the ILH champ, looking for their first state title in 8 years. And we welcome you out to Waipahu High School, the host site for Friday afternoon semifinal round in the Motivate Foundation HHSAA Division I Boys State Soccer Championships. We've got OIA, ILH in the first matchup. Kalani, as we mentioned, the runners-up from the Oahu Interscholastic Association, and Iolani, the ILH champion, once again back atop the Interscholastic League. A look at the brackets. Coming up in the nightcap, it's going to be Mililani and last year's state runner-up, Helle. That'll be scheduled for about 7 o'clock. Kalani having to go through the opening round on Monday, defeating Kailua. Got some early goals, defeated MIL champ Baldwin yesterday for the Raiders. A tough one. 2-2 after 80 minutes. Needed extra time to defeat the BAAF runner-up and book their ticket here into the semifinal round. Jordan Helle along with Coach Brent Murakami. And Brent, we got a really fun Final Four. This tournament, among many in the state, have really turned into parity. We've seen a lot of teams, different stories, 2 teams trying to get back to the top. This should be a fun matchup. Yeah, and we saw it from last year, the boys tournament. You know, it's anybody's game, whoever shows up. And now with the elements of the win, it's really anybody's game. Yeah, this win could really factor in. And so the stars, how much are they going to rely on them as we get a look at our new City Nissan players to watch in this contest? First up for Kalani, this a group that has battled all season long. They haven't given up a lot of goals, but they really rely on Chase Kaetsu up top to produce some offense. Yeah, the senior forward, you know, he's 17 goals for this season. He's scored twice already in this state tournament. The game winner against Kailua, who made them into their quarterfinals, and then he scored yesterday against Baldwin in the 10th minute. So look for him to be a strong contender for goal tonight. Hey, speaking of game winners, as we get a look at our new City Nissan players to watch on the other side for the ILH champs, Iolani's midfielder, Kaleb Abara. Yeah, he doesn't score as many goals in the ILH as they do in the OIA, but he scored meaningful goals. This state tournament yesterday, he had a foot in every single one of their goals yesterday. He scored 2 of them and helped in the 3rd. Yeah, including that penalty kick in extra time to defeat Waiakea and punch their ticket here to the semifinals. Kalani and Iolani coming up, the first of 2 semifinals on deck from Waipahu as we get the state semifinals underway. Getting ready for kickoff here at Waipahu High School. Kalani and Iolani here in the first of 2 Division I semifinals coming your way. Starting lineups, as always, brought to you by Zippies for Kalani. Robbie Pruner in goal has anchored them all season long, along with the Fusei brothers in central defense, Kobayashi center, and Van Riesbergen in the midfield, Fujimura, Kaetsu, and Kudo. Very, very good in attack. On the other side for Iolani, Tanner Shum has been their goalkeeper, their mainstay all season long. Kava'akua back into the starting lineup, missed yesterday's matchup. He, Sherman, up top, very, very dangerous. Keen Palmer, their number 6, really kind of anchors things in the midfield. Lee and Nakao, very, very good as outside backs for co-head coaches Travis Watanabe and Grant Fukuda. Here for Iolani. On the other side, Kiichi Mizuno, the head man for Kalani. Glad to have you along with us. First of 2, we mentioned Helle and Mililani coming up in the nightcap, scheduled for 7 o'clock. We'll see how long this first semifinal takes us. You got Kalani and Iolani. Kalani in the white unis, Iolani in the all blacks. A lot of red mixed in, as you would imagine, between these 2 schools. Iolani coming out of the ILH 7-1-3 overall, went 6-1-3 in the ILH, winning that league for the first time here since 2017. Kalani, the OIA runners-up in the state semifinals for the 3rd consecutive year, have lost at this stage each of the last 2 seasons, 2022 and then obviously going back to 2020 with the COVID year in between. What are you looking for here early, Brent? 2 teams that like to knock the ball, that like to possess it, kind of similar ideas in how they go about things tactically?
Yeah, both of these teams really pride themselves on the defense, but we'll look here, the officials for the match.
Yeah, Cassidy Dixon, our referee, Dylan Stelly and John Jonick on the lines for this first semifinal. You were saying, Brent?
Yeah, just both of these teams really pride themselves on their defense. Kalani just looking to keep,
Yeah, here's Abara getting to a bounding ball. Kind of just a ball booted up in the direction of Nate Sherman. The big target, Noah Sherman, the big target up top for Iolani. And lucky bounce, Abara couldn't quite get it under control and easily handled that time by Pruner. As we'll get a whistle in midfield, this will go in Kalani's favor.
For Iolani, they're going to be looking to play pretty compact. They know that Kalani has got some very good front runners, so they're looking to keep their center or their back 4 really tight, even their 3 central midfielders tightening up in there and looking for maybe some of those quicker counter attacks. Whereas Kalani is just looking for, their 4 backs to play good defense and then to build out of their offensively. They might be a little bit slower than Iolani will be going forward. Kalani really looks to connect their passes.
And it'll be interesting to see how the wind factors in, right? That's been a big topic, a big influence, really, as we've seen through the OIA postseason, a little bit of the girls' state tournament last week as well. Here's Keal Kava'akoa, and missed yesterday's match against Waiakea. He's a big insertion back into the lineup. Quality running back on the football team as well, finds Abara, as Iolani will knock it a bit in the middle of the park. And Jake Budkowitz and Michael Kostecki out there for Iolani, kind of up the spine through the midfield on into central defense. Bit of a crosswind, unlike what we saw a couple of weeks ago in the OIA championship at Kaiser, where it was going end to end. Winds subsided just a little bit from what we saw earlier in the afternoon. Sherman closed down quickly. His Kalani defense has been terrific all season long. 12 shutouts in 15 OIA and state tournament matches, but a free kick given away about 35 yards out in a early opportunity here. Set pieces could loom large in this one, Brent.
Yeah, and Iolani scored twice yesterday on set pieces, really 3 times, including their penalty kick as the game winner in overtime. But we have Kaleb Abara on the ball again, as he was yesterday, taking these set pieces, something that they train quite a bit at Iolani.
Abara trying to chip it for that back post. Window was kind of taking it away, as that was Kekama Kane, freshman center back. He's been quite the addition this year, and put him forward on a lot of these set pieces. It'll be kind of interesting early on to see how both teams kind of gauge the wind, right? Especially on some of these balls played service in. Again, 40-minute halves at the high school level. Timing very similar to what you see at the NCAA level. As we count down, the clock will stop on the direction of our center referee. A nice touch on inside for Kalani, and trying to get it on his left foot was Shane Kudo. Not the cleanest of strikes, and Tanner Shum well positioned there.
This is a good service in here, a good little through ball, and Kudo got the right positioning in there. Just not connecting very well on his shot. But a good slip in, that's things that Kalani does want to find. They do attack with their wingers. They don't mind going around, but they can also go through if those channels are open.
Yeah, each team pretty dynamic with their front 3. Kudo, Fujimura, and Kaetsu for Kalani. I mentioned Kava'akoa, Sherman, and you also got Ian Yogi for Iolani. Hey, don't miss a second of the action. Watch OC16 on the go. Spectrum News app has the local sports you love and the news and weather that matter most to you. You can download today on the App Store or Google Play. Kalani looking for an outlet. And Riesbergen looking to switch the field. There's Shane Fuse. You got the Fuse twins as the two center backs all season long for Kalani. Fujimura in some space. He will take that space, play it off. And a ball played through Shum, and it'll find its way in. Ethan Center out of the midfield. A beautiful ball from Fujimura. And just like yesterday, Kalani striking 6 minutes in.
And a good build up here by Kalani, very patient. And Fujimura finds this ball, looks at center, wrapping around, and center outside of the foot, sits it with some power there and under Shum's legs. But here you got Fujimura cutting in as a winger, and center making a run from the center of the park, outside of the foot, just a little bit of English on that ball. And Shum just not ready for it. Goes right between his legs and right over the goal line. A critical mistake here for the Iolani Raiders here. But still a lot of time in this match on the 6-minute mark, just as they did yesterday. Kalani scoring in the 6th minute yesterday.
Yeah, for the second day in a row, it's Ethan Center finding the back of the net. Had a goal in the 22nd minute against Baldwin in yesterday's quarterfinal. Center very, very steady, gives him some good size, but boy, what a hit. The one-timer. First touch off the feed from Fujimura, and Center, the second team All-Hawaii midfielder selection a year ago. His second state tournament goal, and Kalani the early advantage, but it's going to be a corner quickly back the other way for Iolani. And so for Kalani on Monday against the really, really stubborn Kailua squad, basically had to wait until the last couple of minutes. I think it was the 78th minute goal against Kailua to break a scoreless deadlock with Kailua. But here, the last couple of days, they have scored early. Abara to play this in. Cleared, but only as far. That time as Nakal. And Udo giving chase. Actually, that's Alexander Andrade Portillo that time for Kalani, who quickly gets out of their own end, defended that corner well, and looking to strike the counter.
Got to know when to go quickly, you know, in those counterattack opportunities, and when to be a little bit more patient. Even though that ball gets cleared out, some teams will decide to hold that ball and knock it around the field a little bit. Just kind of got to give or take what the other team is giving you.
Kobayashi finds Fuse. Fuse over to his brother.
But here, this is what Kalani likes to do. Just very methodical with the ball. Play with the Fuse brothers in the back. Open up the space and allow their center midfielders to get the ball, and then spray the ball out to their wingers when their wingers are 1 versus 1 on the outside, where there's a lot of space and channels for their outside fullbacks to get wrapped around.
Kubo checking back. And then you saw it there, right? Really knocking it around. It works its way from the midfield on back over to Fujimura, finds its way all the way to the opposite sideline with Kudo, excuse me. Iolani trying to find a spell of possession. Well defended by Van Riesbergen. As Kalani out to a quick 1-0 lead, and there's Kiichi Mizuno. The Kalani head coach, was the OIA East Coach of the Year last season. Kalani finished 3rd overall in the OIA. Fuse trying to find Fujimura direct. Settles it well. Andrade up towards Kaetsu. That time as Michael Stecchi able to come over and just put it out of play. And on the other side for Iolani, Travis Watanabe, Grant Fukuda. There's a good look at Coach Watanabe. Of course, Travis, really good player in his day. Over at Iolani, All-Stater.
Excellent player. Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah,
he's been at Iolani a long time. They're co-head coaching right now for Coach Chris Lee, who is on the mainland with his son, the Seattle Sounders Academy.
Yeah, what a terrific opportunity that is. Coach Grant Fukuda as well. Both of those guys putting a lot of time with this program. I've seen that more and more, the co-head coaches, right? And obviously, especially if you're on an interim basis, you can understand kind of sharing the responsibilities. Of course, Travis is the guy that deals with the media. He's got the pain in the fully job of dealing with guys like us. Butkowitz trying to win that in the air. Goes Kalani's way and all the way up. Finds Kaetsu. Applies the pressure, and he'll earn the throw in here. So the early goal, how does that change things, Brent, as we're now 10 minutes in?
Yeah, first you may hit the panic button a little bit, right? Just for the Iolani side, they're coming into this match, semifinals, you don't want to go down. The coaching staff, the captains just need to organize together and just say, hey, is a long time more in this game.
Right wing.
And a quick stoppage as the third Fusei brother, the left back, Cody Fusei, is just a 9th grader. Will have to come off. They have taken one to the nose. Kind of tended to him, so our first substitution of the match is going to be Tyler Hashimoto for Kalani. Kalani, a team that really does not substitute a whole lot that we've seen this season. They've really kind of built up this core 11. Van Riesbergen can't settle. Hashimoto's first touch of the match. It'll deflate a deflection out wide. Kubo coming in, he'll have a hit and a second for Kalani. As center. But hold everything. Our officials are going to talk this one over. Center just kind of took that one from out wide on in. And we get the confirmation it's a goal. Ethan Center has bagged a brace, not more than 12 minutes into the match.
Comes in there, just not a whole lot of pressure in second defending. Looking if it's possibly a handball or something. Maybe is that what the referee was discussing there?
In an offside position.
Possibly. Yeah, maybe that's what the referee was kind of questioning there. But still, yet that ball's finding the back of the net. That's Kaetsu, even if he maybe was in that offsides position, that's not why they scored.
Yeah, that was a heck of a hit. Center, the UC Santa Barbara signee, has Kalani up 2-0. Only in the 12th minute.
So now you're talking about, Jordan just asking about being down 1-0, 2-0 is a different story.
Kavalakoa trying to answer immediately. Was searching out that back post. And for Iolani, it drifts just tantalizingly on the wrong side of that far post. Couldn't quite curl it in.
And you've got to think that's the way the wind is blowing as well. So it pushed it just a tad past that post because that ball's looking for that far post.
Yeah, you had Pruner beat that time. Just couldn't tuck it in the side netting. And if you're Kalani, if you're Iolani, you got to feel like you're going to create some chances, right? This team's too quality to not create some chances, to bring them back into things. As coming forward, Nakal, the senior. Here's a flick into it. And this one kind of just touched into the area. No problem for Pruner. And again, what a hit this was from Ethan Center, Brent, on this second goal.
Yeah, but as that free, as that we saw that slow-mo, is Kaetsu in that offside position. I think it's pretty even, from our angle there. It's not in offside position. I think from maybe the referee, the AR's position here. Maybe is looking for a touch off of Kaetsu that would have been offsides if he was in the offsides position, but the referee did not signal for it to be offsides. I think they just wanted to discuss a little bit about that. But center, just an open shot, beats his first defender, no one really to help, and he just rips that shot to the near post.
Yeah, the thing you liked about it, it was a quick conversation by the referee and the AR. Sorted it out and confirmed that it was a goal. And we will say, because we're on the same sideline here looking at things, opposite the benches, misplay. Kaetsu lurking, and they're just going to play that out. Stecki not taking any chances, but the AR on this side, he's looking right into the sun. And so it's not the easiest line of sight for him. Kind of looking into the setting sun towards West Oahu. 2-0 Kalani early on here. Not even a quarter hour in. Ethan Center's got both. Scored in last year's state tournament against Kalakaua in the first round. He's risen to the occasion. We're on the biggest stage once again. Goal yesterday, 2 so far today. Iolani just trying to get it out of danger. Center, he's been all over the place. Finds the ball again, trying to play a little combination with Van Riesbergen. Not quite on the same page, and a little bit of a respite here for Iolani. Kalani, we mentioned in the state semifinals for the 3rd consecutive tournament. They're seeking to get back into the championship match for the first time since 2015. And they lost in the final against Midfielder. Looking for their first state title since they won it all in 2013, just a couple of years prior to that. Loss against the Trojans. We've seen a couple of dangerous spells for Iolani, but really no sustained period of possession really for the Raiders so far. Hey, Mike's Engraving and Trophies is the official trophy provider of Spectrum OC16 Sports. For all your special achievements, it's Mike's Engraving and Trophies, located behind Cutter Ford in IA.
And for the Raiders, they're going to be a lot quicker on the offense. They're going to get that ball going forward. Very rarely is that ball going to come backwards. You know, for Kalani, they're going to look to go forward a bit and then come backwards, you know, especially in the midfield. Iolani may look more to go side to side, but they're going to keep that ball generally going forward, looking for some space, looking to hit their front runners pretty early.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of dangerous moments. Kava'akoa, the best opportunity, putting it just wide. We saw Sherman, first couple of minutes of the match. The Raiders chasing a couple of goals, still obviously a lot of time. Over an hour left in this match. Get 40-minute halves at the high school level. The grind that is the state tournament. Needed with 3 games over 3 days for Kalani, 4 games over 6 days, having to go through the opening round on Monday, defeating Kailua over at Farrington.
It's a lot more manageable playing in that first round now that you're playing that regional on Monday than it used to be some years ago. Right? Those teams without the bye used to play from Wednesday through Saturday.
Falcons put it wide, across in, Fujimura. Here's Center again, finds his way to Fujimura, and the left-footed shot handled this time by Shum.
And Shum's got to feel pretty good right now having that ball in his hand, right, and being able to punt it away. The last 2 times he touched that ball, he's getting it out of the back of his net.
A nice job there by Cody Fuse. Excellent first touch right over to his teammates. Fuse back in there to leave for a bit of treatment as we get a look at that latest sequence.
But just that chaos, you know, that ball staying alive, those half chances.
Beautiful ball. Speaking of chaos, kind of just squirted through, found its way to Sherman. Nice little touch forward for Abara. And some emergency defending that time by Jensen Fuse. And it will be a throw-in for Iolani, and the Raiders want to go quick. As Nakao playing one in right in front of Pruner, punches away, and a whistle will come in for some contact. It's a nice job by Pruner, a dangerous ball in by Nakao. It'll be a free kick for the Falcons.
A good service in, and Pruner's coming out with his fists, and good challenge. Good hard challenge. Confidence from Pruner to punch that ball away.
And Robbie Pruner, third team All Hawaii a year ago, second team Hawaii East goalkeeper. And Iolani trying to respond quickly. And Kaetsu may have handled it, he did. So the Raiders enjoying a good couple of minutes here. They've been a little more dangerous. Love to pull one back over the final 20 minutes or so of this opening half. Of course, imperative that they don't allow another in. There's Kalani yesterday who found that third goal about the 30th minute. It really kind of slammed the door shut in their quarterfinal victory over Baldwin. Kane. Van Riesbergen up ahead for Kaetsu. 1v1 this time with Kostecki, and Kostecki will just play it out, taking no chances. It'll be a deep throw in for the Falcons, and Kalani substituting. It'll be Logan Wong coming in for the Falcons. Play in the midfield. Yogi back out there for Iolani as well. Long throw into the air. It took a deflection off of one of the Raiders. Boy, nearly fell that time. Is that Kubo out there? But they say he was offside, so flag was up. It was indeed Kudo. Looking for Sherman. Ball won by Fuse. Second ball, though, finds its way to Abara. Abara trying to chip one in. Up ahead, Kava'akoa. Trying to play one. Little right-footed service. Earns the corner.
Yep, every trip.
That latest opportunity for Kalani.
Right off the pocket.
Yeah, Yogi was fresh back into the ball game, and a bit of a welcome. Ball played near post, finds its way out. Nakao couldn't get on top of it.
For Iolani, every trip down in this, on their half of the field, they've got to get some quality attack, whether they're getting a deep throw, some sort of cross or shot or corner kick. It's 2-0. There's still a lot of time left. If they can net one here before the half and keep it a one-goal game, anything can happen. But they need a little bit of urgency, need a little bit of confidence. The wind does seem to have calmed down just a bit.
Center trying to weave through the midfield. Maddox Goose into the ball game for Iolani, tracking back. Now Wong on the ball. We'll find Andrade. Kalani happy possessing here. Bayashi, little errant. No problem though for the Falcons. Fujimura. Kaetsu back to Fujimura. Time, space, trying to pick out a runner. Well defended that time. Nakao tracking back. Now the Raiders trying to counter the other way. There's Gu over to Nakao. Raiders look to switch the point of attack.
It's not enough players pressuring that back line. What a good ball, though.
All looking for Gu. Just a little heavy on the ball through. And Pruner able to collect.
But just this counter here, looking for Iolani. But a good service in there. Looking to connect in that last third.
Yeah, and Iolani, right? We've seen some of the substitutions in there, trying to change it up a little bit. Maddox Gu, you got Lincoln Awaya in the midfield.
And that spike of energy might just come from the defensive side. Just the individual defending in the middle of the park. I think in the first 10 minutes or so is very laxed in there, allowing center to freely roam. He got his 2 goals from that center of the park, or running away from the middle of the park. Just bringing more energy into the field.
It'll be a free kick. Pruner will come up and take it. Again, the wind more gusting now. Earlier, we saw some pretty strong, sustained winds whipping through here in Waipahu. Been a little more variable, and this will be a corner for Iolani. So that'll allow them to get Kane forward. As the Raiders trying to go quick Palmer into Abara, and the Falcons reacting accordingly. It's a nice job by Fuse. Getting stuck in.
Wonder if they decide to go short because of the wind or because it was, Kalani wasn't ready.
Yeah, it's a good point, right? From the far side of the field, you'll be taking that corner kick into the breeze. Long throw in. Coming on that time was Awaya. Going to take it first time into some defenders, and it'll be another Iolani throw. You got Vincent Maserati and Shane Kudo waiting to come on for Kalani. They haven't gotten a throw in a while.
Yeah, and on substitutions here at the high school level, it's your possession. You can sub as long as it's out of bounds, no free kicks. And then any goal kick, you can sub. Or if the other team makes the substitute, you can piggyback and sub as well.
It's a good tackle there. Aaron Ball finds Fujimura and then taken back immediately, that time by Palmer. Up ahead, here's Gu. Left-footed shot, Pruner able to deny. Second ball is out for a corner as Fuse defending. Able to see it up over the bar, but Iolani knocking on the door the last 10 minutes or so, trying to find that opening goal.
And Awaya's been all over their chances. The last 3 chances down this side of the field, Awaya's had a foot in it. Ball bounces off of Pruner and not able to put it away on the rebound.
Yeah, Awaya has been heavily involved since coming on. Just a freshman. They've played him all over the place. He's filled in defense. They'll play him in the midfield, up top if they need. Ball was out. It'll be an Iolani throw. The Raiders looking to make a substitution, so that'll bring things to a halt. Coming back on for Iolani will be Butkowitz, and for Kalani, it'll be Kai van Riesbergen joining Vincent Maserati, re-entering the match. But yeah, bro, you were talking about Brody Awaya, right? This guy, 2 goals in ILH play. He hasn't necessarily been a big goal producer, but he's been a huge contributor and about as versatile as they come.
Yeah, he's making the right runs in this match. We've seen him break through, just not able to get on the end of that earlier through ball. Right, and we've seen the last 2 times some sort of shot on goal. Just a freshman.
Yeah, he's been quite dangerous out there. Kaetu on the sideline. Say last touched by him. A little over a dozen minutes remaining in the opening half. Ethan Center, pair of goals. Sends Kalani out to a 2-0 lead. Here's Awaya. Able to turn, trying to find Kava'akoa. And then the clearance all the way to Shum. Had to kind of tight rope the edge of the area there. Looking for the big boot. Kava'akoa's got a ton of speed. He can see the wind, right? You punt that thing up above the bleachers here at Waipahu High School. The wind will take that punt a ways. Similar to what these teams dealt with yesterday out at Waipio, just down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, it's not like they haven't played in this wind. They played in it. They saw it yesterday, you know, so it's, you know, no one likes to play in this type of wind, you know, but it's something that they're now used to, playing 2 days in a row. And I'm pretty sure it'll be that whoever wins today is going to be playing in similar wind tomorrow. The good thing here is that it's not really going goal to goal. It's going across the field, so we don't have that type of impact in the game. The OIAs at Kaiser we saw, right? The goalkeeper's punting the ball and it just hanging up in there and coming backwards. So I don't think we'll see that.
Yeah, no distinct advantage going either way. Yeah, what we saw at Kaiser, right? I mean, if you were going with the wind versus into the wind, big difference in how you approach the match. Little flick on, Shum off of his line. So the Raiders have steadied things a bit over the last 15, 20 minutes or so. But yet to find the opening goal. Abara. Able to settle. Wants Awaya. Back to Abara. Coming out is Fuse. Not only wins the ball, but finds Fujimura in the process. Up to Kaetsu. Took a extra bounce on him. Abara trying to touch around a defender, but right over to Van Riesbergen. Stepping into things. Iolani. Raiders back the other way. Awaya getting into the area, looking for the service. On the quick turn that time by Kava'akoa. And it'll be out for a corner.
Yeah, Kava'akoa does well to get into that penalty area and bring that ball across. But good defending, numbers in the box. Giving a corner kick away. See how this ball hangs up just a little bit going into the wind. Really got to look to drive that ball.
Keen Palmer playing it in. Low, looking for the near post, but never really threatened. You see Devin Pang, the junior midfielder for Iolani. Second team All ILH a year ago. One of the core subs here for Iolani. In talking to Coach Watanabe before the match, he said, you know, they kind of have their go-to guys in the rotation, but hey, if the match goes a certain way, one way or the other, right, that'll dictate a lot of what they bring off the bench. And I think we've seen a little bit more of the depth for Iolani, trying to find the right combination, trying to push the right buttons after, especially after falling behind with the second goal. Kaetsu using that strength, big physical presence up top, 5'11", the senior.
And Iolani's able to use some of their experience playing in the tough ILH. You know, they grind against some of the D1 teams and even the D2 teams this year in the ILH have been very, very good. Les Jardins, they tied, you know, to them as well, and mid-pack they drew as well. So they're fighting against teams week in and week out, whereas in the OIA there might be some weeks where not really challenged. So Iolani Raiders can use that to their advantage here when they're down 2-0 to really see how they can get back into this match.
And of course the Division II semifinals taking place over at Roosevelt. And we will have the D2 championship match tomorrow on Spectrum OC16. You got Kamehameha Hawaii and Seabury Hall in the late semifinal, and it'll be Pac-5 and Island School out of the KIF in the first semifinal. That match kicking off at 5 o'clock. Right about the same time as us. Gonna look at that bracket. Roosevelt, the lone seeded team to fall yesterday to Seabury Hall, the MIL champ. Kamehameha Hawaii, Seabury Hall rematch of last year's state championship game, which Kamehameha Hawaii was the victors, and then Island School in Pac-5. Pac-5 trying to pull the double, right? Winning the Division II girls state championship a week ago tomorrow, right here on this very field at Waipahu High School. We will not have a sweep on the boys' side with Punahou, the girls' state champion. Here's Fujimura trying to find a third and a good save by Shump. A big one there, right?
He needed that. He needed that. Fujimura's driving in at his near post. We'll see this. Another way he runs around, looking at trying to beat Shum on that near post.
Yeah, he's just so dangerous. Doesn't need to see a ton of the ball, but when he gets on it, dynamic. He'll provide the service. Looking right about the penalty area. Glancing header. Really threatened the goal. Looked to be Fuse coming forward. Attacking that one.
And Fujimura just really good with his feet. Very flashy, very quick. Able to beat you around or inside of you. Very difficult to defend against him.
Nakao trying to loft this one in Kava'akoa's direction. It's a good ball. Kava'akoa working 1v1. Tackled away. And time Shane Fuse. Fuse scored the opening goal yesterday in the 6th minute against Baldwin. He'll play some outside back with his club. Been a mainstay central defense for Kalani. Nakao will opt to play it, and that'll work in Kalani's favor. Wind kind of holding it up, and Nakao figured, all right, well, they can't take a chance with Fujimura just kind of lurking there. Coming to it is Palmer. Palmer trying to body off Fujimura. Wanted Nakao stepping right in, though, is Maserati. Maserati looking for Kaetsu. And kind of caught on the wrong shoulder, and it'll just roll out for an Iolani goal kick. Lincoln Awaya will come on now for Iolani, 13 in the black. Put in a little shift here over the final 4 minutes of our opening 40. Ethan Center, the Kalani midfielder, on his way to UCSB. One of the more accomplished players in the state. With both goals here for Kalani. Falcons not done yet, looking for a third. Trying to find Wong. Still battling for it. Now over to Maserati. Kaetsu holding it up. Wong searching out Kaetsu. Cleared, but only as far as Van Riesbergen. They want to go wide for Fujimura. Actually, that was Center that played in the ball, and then the ball taken away. Iolani trying to spring a counter. Sherman up ahead. Kava'akoa trying to cut it back. Cleared, but only as far as Sherman. And Kalani doing well to defend. Flag is up on the near sideline. Kaetsu maybe tracking back from an offside position.
Good patient defending here. Kava'akoa trying to look to beat him. Wants to use his right foot though, kind of cuts that ball back. And again, here he brings that ball back. He's got a lot of space down that line, but maybe just looking to hit that ball with his right foot. We've got the AR with his flag on our near side up. Not too sure why.
And they say Kaetsu came back to play the ball from an offside position. And it will be a chance here for Iolani, to throw some numbers forward. Pruner to play it in. Got Sherman, Budkowitz, everybody kind of hanging out just inside the 18. This one defended. Fuse out of play, corner coming for Iolani. Final 2 minutes or so here of this opening half. Again, with the new timing rules going into effect a few years ago, right? Once it hits triple zeros, that is the end of the half.
Yes, no added time by the referee.
Palmer, again going short. Will get it back. Escaped him just a second. Touch central, trying to chip it in. Some Raiders in the box, but about 3 guys offside. Flag will come down as Pruner just came to collect. No damage done.
Coaching staff for Iolani is not going to like that. Those are opportunities to go scoring. You've got 3 players sitting in the offsides position.
Balco again trying to turn the corner. Andrade, good recovery. He'll play it out. About 90 seconds remaining in the half. Can Iolani maybe steal one late, tighten this one up? So we always got to be a little weary of the counter here for Kalani. Played in, Nathan Lee. Now over on the left side. Usual right back for Iolani. We'll earn another set piece opportunity here, final 64 seconds.
And this is where, knowing that the time is 1 minute, you've kind of got to manage it. You know, you don't want to rush too early where you're going to possibly give up a counter. You almost want this to be kind of the last play of the last play of the half.
Abara looking for the back post. It was cleared out momentarily that time to Palmer, who couldn't quite settle to get a shot on goal. Abara, 39 seconds remaining in the half. Coming to get it for Iolani will be Kostecki, one of the center backs who's still up the field. Palmer lofting. Sherman trying to flick it on. Looking to come back to it. Fuse went up. Came back down to the turf, and it will be a whistle. So those 2 guys show a little sportsmanship. That should just about see us through to halftime. 40 minutes down. A pair of Ethan Center goals, and Kalani a 2-0 advantage. 40 minutes away, perhaps, from getting back to the state championship game. We'll be back here to Waipahu as Kalani leads it 2-0. Well, it's been an entertaining 40 minutes so far here in the first semifinal of the Motivate Foundation HHSAA Division I Boys Soccer Championships. Kalani 2, Iolani 0. 40 minutes in as we get a look at some of the action from our opening half. Ian Center, I believe technically it was the 5th minute where he was able to power one through first time. Snuck over the goal line there, and then this one, boy, what a hit. A crack from distance, and Center doubling the lead less than 20 minutes in, and Kalani able to see that out through the rest of the first half, and they are halfway home, possibly to getting back into the state championship game for the first time in 8 years. Jordan Helle, Brent Murakami back with you. And Brent, you know, Kalani the last 2 days scoring early. Defensively, they've been really difficult to unlock, and here they are following a similar recipe 40 minutes down to getting the job done.
Yeah, they've got to feel pretty good about what they're doing right now. They do focus a lot on their defensive play, which allows their offense to not have to defend very much. You know, and that's what they're doing in this game, and they've got those opportunities.
And when they've had to defend, they've been very good. A team that prides itself on being organized. Iolani had some chances in that opening half. Robbie Pruner, the goalkeeper for Kalani, has really anchored things as he has all season long.
Yeah, he's in the right place, just picking up some of those through balls that have come through, and he punched this ball away early on in the first half. Just that confidence, you know, you come out, you make a save like that, you're feeling good about yourself.
It's going to be interesting to see how Iolani goes about trying to manufacture some scoring opportunities in the second half. We'll talk more about it when we return here to Waipahu. 2-0 the halftime score. Kalani leading the ILH champ Iolani here in the first of 2 Division I semifinals. We've got Mililani and Hilo coming up in the nightcap halftime. Jordan Helle, Brent Murakami back with you. And Brent, Iolani, they've been dangerous at times in this match. Kaleb Abara has been kind of right in the middle of things. We've seen him on the left wing. We've seen them play him a little more centrally. And he has created some opportunities. They just haven't been able to find that first goal.
Yeah, he's been around. You know, he didn't get to play yesterday. And so he's here with a lot of energy and wanting to contribute to his team. That was probably the best shot of the match for the Iolani side.
Nearly picked out that far post. But Iolani scoreless so far through 40 minutes. Kalani, Ethan center both goals. We'll be back to get you the second half kickoff when we return. Let's take a look at the halftime stats, as always brought to you by Jack in the Box. Interestingly enough, 7 corner kicks for Iolani, unable to find a goal. Anything else kind of stand out to you there, Brent?
I was right about to pick the same thing off. You know, out of those 7 corner kicks, there was really nothing on goal. And that's something they're going to need to fix if they want to get back in this match.
Any Equipment Rentals is proud to support high school athletics as Hawaii's premier supplier of aerial lift equipment and forklifts, including tonight's game. A&E will take your work to new heights. Our guy Kaliko atop the lift, braving the wind, the elements. He's a pro. Doing a great job for us up atop the scissor lift, getting you those great shots from behind the goal. 2-0 Kalani. Here out there, there's Kaliko. We'll get the weather report from between games, exactly how blustery it's been up there. It has been windy, kind of subsided midway through that first half, and then it's been picking up a little bit here as the sun continues to set off in the distance. And going to be an interesting next 40 minutes, right? Iolani's got to be on the front foot. They've got to take it to Kalani, of course. The Falcons, 3 goals yesterday. Very dangerous team. They've scored multiple goals, Kalani has, in now 14 of their 16 matches. Looking for their 13th clean sheet, if they can see this out. They've been tough to crack. They've been tough to stop. That's kind of been the MO of Kiichi Mizuno, right? He's a technical guy. He's very systems oriented, right? All those years, the Japan native, learning the game in England as well, in Europe, as his UEFA coaching license. I mean, very, very seasoned, and he's trying to impart that, which is not always easy, Brent. You coach on the high school side as well. It's not a long season. You're not with your guys a lot because of, you know, the club game, and understandably so. And so to kind of implement a system to get guys to play together that maybe are coming from different clubs, even if maybe you have the majority of your guys coming from a single club, they may not play on the same team because of different ages, right? At the high school level, you got a wide range of 4 different years. It's no easy task. Yeah,
and at the high school level, it's really not a whole lot of time to develop and get all the players on one page. And the quicker the players can do that and buy into what you're trying to do, the better the team will be. And like you mentioned, you've got players playing all different clubs, all different age groups, all different positions, right? A lot of these players may play a different position for their club, but the needs of the high school are going to require them to play a certain position. So even for them to adapt to it for the 3 months of the season is no easy task.
You see Kenzo Taylor out there for Kalani. Changes to begin this second half, and here is the 8th Iolani corner. Started with the Nathan Lee throw-in, and quickly the Raiders looking to get themselves back into it. Keen Palmer will take the corner. Looking back post. Well defended that time. Kaetsu back helping out defensively. It will be out for an Iolani throw, though. Long throw into the area, again defended well by Kalani, and this will be out for another throw-in. Taking it will be Nakao on the throw-in, still loose in the area. Some emergency defending there. Etsu and company tracking back. Ball played in. Abara trying to turn. Cleared out, but right to Palmer. We play on. Lee whips it in, looking for Sherman. Still loose on the back post, and no whistle came. It will be a corner kick.
See Ian Yogi picking that ball up, trying to hurry it up, thinking it's going to be a goal kick, but I guess he didn't see the same deflection the referee did. Maybe a nice surprise. So 2 corner kicks here early on in the second half.
So Abara will take this one. Dangerous ball, back post, it's in! Noah Sherman. Oh, Kavako, excuse me. Keal Kavako had been so dangerous in the first half. Just kind of hanging out on that back post. Looked like it took a deflection on its way in, and Iolani is right back into this.
Ball gets served on that far post. Just a slight deflection there, I think. Just very slight, but still Kavako, no one on him, sitting on that back post. Actually, 2 Raiders on that back post. A deflection off of the goalkeeper, Pruner. That ball came so quickly, didn't see where it was coming from. Again, off of this corner kick that I didn't see the play before, you know, but even Ian Yogi thought it was Kalani ball, but referee gives you that and you've got to take it.
Yeah, the 9th corner of the match for Iolani, and you just got a feeling, right, the more they kept knocking on the door, something had to materialize, and that time, Kavako able to put that in at 2 goals in ILH play. This guy's just a pure athlete. He's played center back at times in his career. Dangerous in attack. All of a sudden it's 2-1. So a goal early in the first half for Kalani. And Iolani returns the favor. Early stage of the second half. Long throw, flicked on. Fujimura now rising.
And we talked about that at halftime, right? We've got all of those corners. Oh, it's right on the edge. I'm not sure whether the referee's going to signal that. He's saying right outside of the box.
Yeah, that time it was Shane Fuse up the center back. And on that second sequence following the long throw is brought down. And as you pointed out, Brent, I mean, not even a foot outside the area. Fujimura will stand over it. Got 6 Falcons just outside the 6-yard box on the back post. And now Fujimura will give way for center. Remember, center's got both goals.
Looks like it'll be some sort of service, maybe a low type of service. He's setting up for a right foot ball. Would be very difficult for him to shoot it with his right foot from there.
The flick into the box. Still not out of danger. Body's hitting the turf. Through to Shum. Nope, not all the way. But emergency clearance that time from Nakao. Kalani palms skyward. All kinds of chaos. Fuse going down. And Nakao able to prevent Jensen Fuse from putting that through and challenging Shum. Center long throw. Still in there, and some good defending by Yogi that time. And finally, Iolani will able to push some numbers forward and get out of their own end.
Iolani having to be disciplined there in their penalty area. Don't want to give up any type of fouls.
Sherman trying to flick that on directly from Shum. Had Yogi running onto it, but tight, and Pruner able to come get it. As the wind is light as really we've seen it all afternoon. Some space in midfield. but Kuwit's playing it wide. Balcour. There's a shot. Pruner punches it up and over. And Abara figured, why not?
Feeling the same way that Ethan Center, his counterpart. Looking open shot in midfield. Pruner does well to just push that ball over the crossbar, but he's giving himself a corner kick to defend. The last time they were defending a corner, it was a header that found the back of the net.
It'll be Abara again. Kava'akoa on the back post. They look for him once more. Well up and over his head. Nothing doing that time for Iolani. 7 minutes into our second half. Pair of first half goals from Ethan Center. And the second half goal from Keao Kava'akoa for Iolani to cut the deficit in half. Sherman trying to find this. Does. But his pass not on target, looking for Kava'akoa. Enzo Taylor battling with Kava'akoa, and the whistle will go in Kalani's benefit. Kava'akoa saying he got the ball, but the official spotting the shirt grab prior to that. Fuse with a big boot forward in the direction of Fujimura. And Taylor will see it out.
The ref said, he's got it. He's got control of the game here. Well, like it, Kava'akoa said, you know, sorry, my bad, I got you. I hear you.
Push spotted there, and this will be, I believe, a free kick.
And that's
for
unnecessary.
Kalani. Yeah, a little frustration there from Abara. Instead of a throw-in, now it's Taiki Kobayashi standing over it. Kalani will again put 6 guys in the area. You got Fujimura just outside the 18. Whipped in, looking for the flick. Cleared. Out to Wong. And Sherman does well to win it. Spots some runners. And Fuse will just play it out as Nathan Lee was charging. Actually, it was Kobayashi who provided the clearance.
Smart play by him. It's the right play.
Here's Fujimura. Nobody forward. Kostecki and Kane, the 2 center backs. Here's Kostecki. Abara navigating through traffic. Kava'akoa to Lee. Lee trying to play a ball in. Not quite what he was looking for, and now Kalani a chance to build possession. Kobayashi to Taylor. Taylor will carry forward. Now just pull it back, and Kalani will build. Andrade up ahead, won by Palmer. Now Palmer battling again.
Kalani not feeling as comfortable offensively anymore. They were playing that ball back to their center backs quite a bit in the first half, but Iolani has made some adjustments in this second half. Sherman coming over to really channel the play and press their center backs. They weren't doing that early on in this game.
Yeah, it was one thing Coach Watanabe talked about, trying to limit the spaces that Kalani is allowed to play in, right? They do so well connecting between the lines, possessing, knocking it, and he wanted to kind of choke off the space, and you're seeing it a little bit, as you point out there, Brent.
Yeah, Kalani, their strength is just finding individual 1-versus-1 opportunities, or 1 in the space, you know, and the more that they can spread the field out, the more they have time, the more successful they'll be. But Coach Watanabe, the Iolani side, I'm sure he's telling his team, we need the ball. They're down 2-0 at half. We need some sort of adjustment. You're letting their back four play the ball too slow, too long. We need some pressure in there. So they're almost baiting the ball to go backwards. And then you can see their front runners pressing the ball.
And we see Shane Kudo back in there for Kalani, one of the starters for the Falcons. Just under half an hour remaining. And on the restart, Fuse quickly playing it up ahead. And the Falcons just haven't quite strung together possession like we saw at times in the first half. Now Kalani, 3v3 in the moment. Sherman will chip it back out wide.
Good ball
on the back post, and good defending. Andrade able to see it out. Now Kalani wanting to come forward. Kudo. Fujimura trying to run off of Kane's shoulder there. Postecki read it well. And then the challenge from center.
This is a good service ball in. Good header. Leading to a little bit of a counter attack for Kalani there.
Van Riesbergen coming back in for Kalani, and we see Brody Awaya as well. He'll give Kava'akoa a break. Iolani, some of their most impressive moments in attack were when Awaya was on the field, the freshman. Homer trying to link up, taken away momentarily. And some bodies colliding, and it will be a free kick here for Iolani. And with Shum's ability to boom balls forward, the Raiders can throw some numbers up near Pruner's goal.
And that'll be called all the time. Don't think Coach Mizuno's gonna like that. You know, he's a man of discipline.
There's that big boot from Shum. Good defending, and a foul whistled. We got a couple of Falcons down right in front of the goal. Andrade and Jensen Fuse. As Fuse went up to win that ball, that's tough. The ball's in the air a long, long time, and it was a nice job by Kalani marking there.
Yeah, that ball in a dangerous area. There's a couple of yards from that goal. Did well to be defended and without fouling there.
Yogi going up, winning the ball. He finds Awaya. He's got some space. Can he get to it? He'll pull it back. Awaya 1v1. Good defending that time. Fuse had to come out, but it will be another Iolani corner. Chance for the left-footed Palmer to trot forward and play this ball in. There's Awaya again, involved in some big sequences.
Just came into the second half.
Here, post off the bar! Still loose! We got a Falcon down in the area. The ball is out for an Iolani throw, and the woodwork saving the Falcons, the only reason it's not level 2 apiece. You got Abara slow to get up as well for Iolani as we get another look at it here, Brent.
What a good service in. Great header. Great header, just hit straight off of that crossbar. Look at that power generated there.
And that was Kane, I believe. Kekama Kane, the freshman center back.
Oh.
Unmarked, clean header, and the crossbar. the only thing denying him from evening the match, as it was the pair of number 10s. Abara, who was slow to get up for Iolani, and Ethan Center, who's got both goals for Kalani. He's slow to walk off. And both of those guys will have to exit momentarily at the very least. Kava'a Cole will come back on for Iolani, along with a couple of other Raiders, and Vincent Maserati will come into the midfield for Kalani. I'm going to guess there weren't very many moments, very many minutes this season where Kalani was playing without center and Iolani was playing without Abara. Those two have been rocks in the midfield. We'll restart things. Iolani still threatening. Again up was Kane. Oh, and off the rebound. That one put up and over the bar. Iolani continuing to be the more dangerous of the two squads here in the second half. A quarter of an hour into the second 40. They found one goal. Can they find the second? As Abara is able to come back on. Here for Iolani. Sun just ducking behind the mountains. Look out towards Waianae. Fujimura, and they say Kostecki was displaced.
A lot of action in this second half. You know, those chances are going to be far and few between. You've got to put those balls away against very good teams.
And as always, dangerous on those free kicks. Kobayashi will just get that out of play. Raiders quickly, though, put it back into play. Lee up ahead, Pruner right there.
Kalani just got to reorganize themselves. If Ethan Center's not in the match, the momentum shifting a little bit towards the Iolani side. They've got to regroup, defend together. That's what their whole team is all about. They defend first, limit chances, limit goals given up. They're up 2-1. They don't want to just buckle back and allow Iolani to come in and constantly serve balls into their penalty area. But they do need to defend a little bit better. They're not tracking players. There's a lot of space for the Iolani front six.
Yeah, just the 5th goal allowed by Kalani all season since the start of OIA play. They've just not let in very many at any point, and really 2 of those goals, right, coming in the OIA championship match against Midilani. They lost that one 2-0 to the Trojans. The wind tunnel out at Kaiser. This ball skips off of Kava'a, who tries to win the foot race, but it's Fuse first to the wall. Another deep throw in for Iolani. It's a good touch ball played in, and it's out!
What a strike! Abara off that quick throw, right off that sideline into the far post.
Why not,
wow.
Right? He's hit one from distance. This time, tight angle. Pruner kind of stuck on his line, unsure. Is that a cross? No, Abara able to pick out the far post.
Wow.
Dynamic. He was off the
strike.
field for maybe 30 seconds. This guy's been everything for Iolani.
Pretty much the same place where he scored yesterday, their free kick, their first goal against Waikea, right along that sideline from that side of the field. Scoring his third goal of the tournament. What a strike. And that momentum, you know, like I said, shifting Iolani's way. Kalani's really got to buckle down and get organized. They're allowing the front 3 players. Kava'ako is putting a lot of pressure on them. Got to deny him the ball.
So Keal Kava'ako and Kaleb Abara, 2 second-half goals, have brought Iolani back from 2-0 down. And with just over 21 minutes left, we got a brand new match. How do you see this playing out here, Brent? Iolani's been decidedly the more dangerous team so far in the second half.
Yeah, and that's why Kalani's really got to find their rhythm a little bit. They're almost outthinking themselves. Possession-wise, they're going away from their game plan. They've got to look to just keep possession of the ball. Push that ball forward and then bring the ball back, right? Allow their outside backs to get involved in the offense. That's something very important to them. Pass that ball to their center backs. Got to work for each other. There's just not enough work. Maybe feeling too comfortable that they were up 2-0, you know, and then being up 2-1. Still, you're in that lead. You don't want to panic either. But the momentum, this whole second half has been all Iolani. You've got that header off of the crossbar, you know, about 6 minutes ago.
Ball played up ahead, and Fuse will opt to go back to Pruner. Kava'ako providing a little bit of pressure. No problem for Pruner. Here's Abara looking out wide for Awaya. Fuse's intervention right back to Iolani, but the Raiders can only muster a boot up ahead for Pruner to collect. As a neutral, about as entertaining a semifinal I think is we could have hoped for. Some contact in midfield. It'll go in Iolani's favor. Pair of goals in each half.
We like goals. You know, you like goals. As much as you may like defense, you know, for the TV, for the game, for the spectators, it's about goals. I would think that Iolani is going to send this ball back in that box and force Pruner to make another save.
This one right at Pruner. Oh boy, some nervy moments, and Pruner decided to just play it safe, palmed it out of play, as Shum nearly picked out the top corner.
Yeah, and Pruner hasn't been the most comfortable either in this second half, so for the Raiders, if they're looking to take the lead here, it's just constant challenge. But another corner. I think this is like the 11th corner of the match.
Sherman and Yogi back on. Palmer's service, back post, Sherman! Off the side netting. I think it's about 50-50 in the crowd as to whether folks saw that go wide of the post.
And this is something that Iolani does work on a lot. So does Kalani. Kalani scores a lot of goals out of set pieces, but to defend set pieces is also another thing.
Good touch up at Kava'ako. The speed is brought down.
In the box.
In the area. Penalty.
Wow.
It was a penalty 5 minutes into extra time yesterday that won it for Iolani.
And just that speed of Kava'ako, and that from this angle or that view, it's right inside of that penalty area.
Yeah, about as close as it could be. And our official was right on top of it. The speed of Kava'ako when he plays centrally just puts so much pressure. The Fuse brothers have handled it so well throughout the match. Shane Fuse, Jensen Fuse. But that time, Shane just a tad late. Our officials will talk it over, and they say indeed that foul took place in the penalty area. It will be a penalty kick, and it will be Kaleb Abara to take it.
And interesting, because Abara took the PK yesterday, but here, where does that slide? Where does it make contact? tough to say right there, you know, that.
Yeah, that is, I mean, that's about as close as it gets,
Yeah.
right? I think from our angle, it's a little tough. We're not right down the 18-yard line, but boy, yeah, that's tough. And often you'll see officials, right, even if they're a little unsure, they'll pull it back. But our center referee, very decisive, pointed to the spot in Abara.
Abara, game winner yesterday, went to his left, the goalkeeper's right, the lower side, but Kalani was still playing at the time that Iolani won.
Abara for the lead, and Iolani, 3 unanswered here in the second half. The Raiders have surged into the lead. Abara's penalty kick, Kava'akoa taken down in the box, and the Raiders have rallied.
Oh, that's confident. You know, it's almost a mind game sometimes when you're in there taking multiple penalty kicks day after day, unsure if the other team scouted you know, or not. But the game winner yesterday for Iolani in overtime was also a penalty kick, and is this a game winner here as well? Still a lot of time. Iolani scored their 3 goals in this half. Can Kalani respond?
It was a 5-goal thriller for Iolani in their quarterfinal victory over Waiakea yesterday. We got 5 goals so far here today as we get another look at the foul.
Interesting on what the referee really called there, you know, because there's no contact, you know, but does that impede his running or not?
We'll see how Iolani opts to play it now, right, as Yogi goes up high to challenge for that header. Do they continue to kind of apply the pressure? Do we see them take a little bit more of a defensive posture? Kava'akoa taken down, a referee plays advantage. Sherman wide, trying to flip the field, looking for Yogi. Defended well by Kalani. Kaetsu's been quiet, hasn't seen a lot of the ball in the second half. Unable to settle, and Lee will just boot it out of danger.
No change for Iolani. Maybe their defense, the back four, their goalkeeper, maybe talking a little bit about just being strong back there. But as far as the game plan or what they've been doing in the second half, they've just got to keep doing the same thing. They too don't want to just sit back and allow Kalani to get clean possession and attack and dump balls into their defensive half of the field.
Ball find its way out to Fujimura, knifing inside. Now Kobayashi. Fuse trying to pick out Kaetsu. Well defended, but only as far as Fujimura, who let fly. And getting in front of it was Kostecki. There for Iolani. Some bodies crunching. She had Andrade.
Strike
Look
by
at
Fujimura.
It'll just be a throw in here for Kalani. Chance for a long throw, as it will be center.
And really a lot of the momentum switch shift, right? The 2 goals given up when center was off the field.
Yeah, I remember he was a little shaken up after a play in the box defensively. Pretty good throw in there, but and then Wong unable to steer it on frame. About a quarter hour remaining, 15 minutes and change. Again, counting down in the second half. Ball handled there by Butkowitz, and you get a little bit of a talking to after kicking that one away. You get a look at the timeline. Remember, it was the center goal, 6th minute and 12th minute. Kava'akoa off a corner kick, not even 5 minutes into the second half, and then Abara twice, either side of the 60th minute mark. once from the run of play and once from the penalty spot, are 5 goals in this semifinal thriller. Winner of the state championship match to take on the victor of our second semifinal, Helle, and Iolani waiting in the wings. Get the feeling we may have a few more fireworks left over the final 14 and a half minutes. Ball taken away in midfield. Palmer, some space. Will pick out Abara. Trying to pick out the corner, and Pruner able to parry it away. Oh, Abara's feeling it.
Pruner saying, stop giving him shots.
Yeah, pleading with this guy. Somebody's got to step. It's a good save, but another Iolani corner.
A good hit, a good save, you know. Pruner's been challenged down the stretch here, and so for him to make a save like that, but now they've given up another corner kick.
Yeah, it's just been a steady barrage from Iolani all match, really. Palmer, good ball in. Boy, Kane nearly able to get on that. Remember, Kane off the woodwork earlier in this half, nearly another goal for Iolani. They like to kind of plant him right in front of the goalkeeper, the big freshman center back. A little over 13 minutes remaining for Kalani to try and find the equalizer. Center, up ahead, looking for Taylor. Kenzo Taylor, 1v1, working against Lee. Cuts it inside, towards goal. A little too much in the direction of Shum that time. Tanner Shum let in the 2 first half goals. Wasn't really going to shake the confidence of his team. Coach Watanabe singing his praises, saying, you know, he's been the rock. He's been steady all season long. Remember, kind of took over the starting duties midway through last season. And he's been the guy here in 2023. Yogi, smallest guy out there, using his body well.
No!
And for Kalani, you know, they don't find themselves down, you know, in matches very often. Just a couple weeks ago against Mililani in that OIA championship game, but for them to play a little different, you know, and play a little bit more direct, that's not what Coach Mizuno wants his team to do. So may feel a little uncomfortable to them. That rhythm might not be there, but they're going to need to play with a little bit of urgency down the stretch. They've got to get that ball in their offensive third of the field, create chances, create opportunities for set pieces, corner kicks, long throws.
Yeah, just 4 goals, right, given up by Kalani in their first 15 matches this season. 3 here tonight as the Raiders bring on Awaya and Pang once again. Some fresh bodies out on the wings. Kaetsu and kind of getting tangled up. The whistle will go in favor of the Raiders, much to the chagrin of the Kalani faithful. Remember how dangerous Shum has been for these free kicks just inside his own half. Lofts one high, flicked on, and it'll be another corner.
That's just got to weigh down the Kalani defense. You know, another corner. They know as defensive players, not give up corners. You know, and in this match, I think close to 14 or so.
Yeah, that was Devin Pang going up, challenging, earning it. Good cross-country runner. Iolani state championship team. Hawaii on the back post. They say last to touch it. As Kalani will bring Logan Wong back on. As Wong comes on for Maserati in the midfield. Raiders just kind of booting in the direction of Kavalkoa. He's got the endless energy up top. And another Iolani throw.
But he wasn't doing that in the first half. A lot of the opportunities for him were just the ball finding his feet. Here in the second half, he's really running through and putting pressure on the Kalani back four, having to clear the ball away. Even he's running onto some of those.
That one flicked by one of the Kalani defenders, and it'll be another corner kick. As Kaetsu will have to come all the way back and defend here. Falcons can ill afford to give up another goal. Under 9 minutes left in the second half. Abara plays it in. Cleared momentarily. Here's Nakao. Trying to find Abara. He was offside. So a chance for Kalani to maybe build something here. I haven't quite seen them as comfortable on the ball in this second half. And they find the one moment of brilliance. Bruner will keep it on the deck, looking for Fuse. Jensen over to Shane. Now out to Andrade. Center, trying to link up with Fujimura.
That pressure from Iolani wasn't there in the first half, you know, and so this is what's making it difficult for the Falcons. They're very methodical in the way that they play, right? They find the ball out wide, look to connect inwards, and then look to find their wingers, you know, and I think Iolani has started to focus in on that next pass. Bait them in, play that open player, and then pressure.
Fujimura, a little more central. Finds center, back to Fujimura. Eludes one, but then tackled away by Awaya, the freshman again. This continues to be so big. Here's Fujimura. Center. Fuse. Center.
There you go, Kalani stringing some passes together. And again, only down one goal. You know, they might feel like everything's against them. They've got 3 unanswered goals, but still a little less than 7 minutes left in this match, just down 1 goal.
Center's been dangerous on these deep throws, near post. Cleared out, right back to him though. Center, chipping, has a man, Shum, a little late getting down, and they say that trickled over the end line, it'll be a Kalani corner. Some kind of a frustrated smile there. Looked like Fuse maybe standing just outside the 6, a little flick. That results in the corner. This will be Kobayashi taking it for Kalani. Some runners on, defended well. Out by Lee. Valcoa couldn't quite corral it. As center comes to get it, plays it back. Up ahead, Lee again rises for the clearance. And then just a very optimistic attempt there by Logan Wong. That will allow Iolani to catch its breath a little. Barely a handful of minutes left. Yogi and Sherman come back in for Awaya and Pang. Ball finds its way to Sherman. They'll pull it back. Has Yogi. And a nice job there defensively as Taylor was tracking back. Runs out of width on the sideline. It'll be an Iolani throw, and the Raiders will be in no hurry. What a wild match this has been. 2 goals inside of 12 minutes for Kalani to begin the match, both of them courtesy of Ethan Center. Raiders with 3 second-half goals. Kiel Kava'akoa and Kaleb Abara. Abara, who's got the final 2. Referee giving a little talking to there. Clock continuing to spin. Iolani not concerned with that. They continue to operate in the Kalani third. Cleared out to Palmer. Palmer on his right foot. Took a deflection. Coming out is Pruner at the pull the emergency brake. He was tiptoeing near the edge of the area. Did so well. And he will quickly punt forward to try and get Kalani up the pitch.
Iolani's got to work this ball in the wide channels unless they clearly have somebody going to go. They want to stay away from Pruner being able to punt that ball down the field. Got to manage the clock even when they're winning. You know, try to put this game away with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. For Kalani, they've got to shape Iolani into the field and not allow them to get wide.
By Jensen Fuse, who's been pushed forward to play alongside Kaetsu. 3 in the back now for Kalani. A nifty little play off the back heel. Trying to free up Taylor. Fuse tripped up by Yogi. And our assistant referee waved the flag. Our center referee waved him off. It's Kalani either a throw-in or will they? Yeah, no, they're just going to say Kalani throw-in here.
And the time is still going. And
the Falcons had sent everybody up thinking it was a free kick. They've got to track back now for Fuse, who's maybe cramping up. Fuse will play it in. Everything cut off in a nice job. That time from Nakao, just kind of letting it run out of play. Andrade will see it out. It's 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Oh, and they say Andrade touched it, and it's going to be a corner kick.
some frustrations here from Fuse.
Excuse me, yeah, Fuse there. You got Shane Fuse still defending, and Iolani will take as long as humanly possible to go ahead and play this corner kick. They do have Awaya and Pang waiting to sub back on.
The referee did stop the clock as well. You keep this ball short and not challenging that box. They're just looking to kill as many seconds off of this clock.
Abara with it in the corner. Taylor does well to win it away, but Palmer takes it right back.
Oh,
nearly snuck it in. Pruner the save, and then Sherman.
the referee calling offsides.
I believe it was on Palmer initially, where they're allowing them to take the kick. Sherman thought he had slammed the door shut. And we play on. Kava'akoa crunching tackle. And advantage played momentarily. Now our official will pull it back for the Iolani free kick. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Where they allowed that restart for Kalani, it would indicate that Palmer was the guy that was offside,
True.
not center.
True.
It's tough to tell.
Well, it's a one-goal game, you know, so that wasn't the game winner at this point of the match. Interesting they're going to go on that. I'm not sure if coaching staff instructed that or not, because then again, Pruner's able to play that ball forward.
But winning it was Nakao. And then Kava'a, strong challenge, but first to the ball. Well, look, actually, that might have been Budkowitz who initially won the ball, and then Alcoa drawing the foul. You can hear some of the Iolani fans saying, just take it to the corner at this point. See what they opt to do. Abara will play it for Nakao. Wants to kind of burn some clock here. He embodied off. This will be a Kalani throw. 28 seconds for the Falcons. Last gasp here for Kalani. Can they get some numbers forward? Taylor, the direction of center. Coming to get it was Wong, but his touch heavy. And that should do it. As we have a stoppage, this will be for an Iolani substitution. And they will allow them to take the substitution. They'll stop the clock.
Yeah, when the winning team is subbing, I think in under 5 minutes of the match, they do stop the clock for the sub, so that they're not constantly subbing.
Makes sense. And we'll be Awaya and Pang back on. Actually put 4.8 seconds back on, 10 seconds to go. And again, Kalani's got to get this up before triple zeros. They're not going to be able to do it. The Raiders, Iolani, come all the way back after trailing 2-0 at halftime. 3 second half goals for the ILH champs. And Iolani is back into the state championship match. What a match. Emotions running high, and it's Iolani who survives and advances to the final tomorrow night. The Raiders 3, the Falcons 2. We'll be back to wrap this up. Well, a little past sunset here in Waipahu, and Iolani marching on to the state championship match. Incredible. 3-2, the Raiders rally from 2 goals down at halftime to defeat Kalani and punch their ticket back to the state championship match for the first time in 4 years. And as we kind of break this one down, Jordan, Helle, Brent, Murakami back with you. And Brent, I mean, a complete flip of the script. Iolani threatening at times in the first half, but they really kind of dominated most of those 40 minutes in the second half.
Yeah, and I think it helped them early on in the first minute or so. They got a corner kick, So I'm sure at halftime, the coaching staff telling them, let's keep creating corners. We've got to get better chances. We created a lot of corners, but not chances. And so they got that early on, and they kept plugging away, and eventually they equalized the match.
Yeah, for this Kalani squad, right, that had been so good all season long defensively in particular. I mean, we saw some really bright moments, and in these matches, you get into the state tournament, a 5-goal thriller. It was Iolani, a 3-2 winner yesterday against YK as well, but it really can kind of come down to 1 or 2 moments, a slim margin of difference against a really quality Kalani squad. Yeah,
and you go back to, what is their season like? How prepared are these teams to play the best teams in the state day in and day out for 3 games straight? And maybe Kalani has not seen that during the season. It's just they're beating teams 2, 3, 4-0 at a time and not having to come back and equalize matches. Yeah, quite the impressive performance here for Iolani once again. And some of that, the championship pedigree, right? They went through the rigors of the ILH and finding a way to get results. When you get into the ILH, right? Whether it's just getting a point, whether it's getting 3 points, it's quite impressive from this group. They found a way yesterday, penalty kick going in extra time to win it. A penalty kick
in regulation today wins it as well, and our Hawaii Honda dealer impact player was standing over both of those kicks, Kaleb Abara for Iolani. Kaleb, thanks again for joining us. You got Jordan and Brent upstairs with you. First of all, congratulations on the win. You're down 2-0 at halftime. Walk us through the halftime team talk. What was the message for you guys coming out after you had gone down the 2 goals? And our apologies, we do have some issues with Kaleb's microphone downstairs. The good news is he can hear us. we just can't hear him. We'll effort to get Kaleb back on the mic with us here. But Brent, talk us through his performance. This guy was everywhere.
Just a worker, and he's taking shots when given to him. In this kind of game, you need that, and what a great shot. He likes that side of the field. That's where he scored yesterday, and he's confident in that penalty kick, just like he did yesterday, a game winner against Waikea. Here, eventually the game winner, too.
Yeah, incredible performance from Abara as well as the rest of the Raiders. And, well, all right, we got Kaleb. Kaleb, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hey, congratulations again, man. I don't know if you heard our initial question, but what was the team talk like at halftime? What was the message after you guys had gone down 2 goals?
We've been in this situation before, so we knew we could come back, and it was just down to our team and inside of us that we knew that we could eventually get the win out, because we've been down 1-0 against Punahou, came back, won it 2-1, and yeah, we just wanted to focus on fundamentals, keep the ball on the ground, and once we got 1 goal, we knew goals would keep coming, and that's what we tried to do.
Well, that first goal you had was quite a beauty. Talk us through what you saw there and picking out the corner.
It was a fast throw-in from Brent. It was a good heads-up play, and then I just cut it inside, and I knew I was going to smack it back post. And if it didn't go in, then I'll give my team another chance to get it back in the goal.
That was awesome stuff. Hey, man, congratulations. We'll let you get out of here, go celebrate with your teammates, and we'll see you tomorrow night in the championship match.
Thank you.
Kaleb Abara, our impact player for Iolani. On the other side for Kalani, Ethan Center, right, the opposite number 10 for the Falcons. He was terrific. Both goals were high-quality stuff, and he had staked the Falcons out to that 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and he's been the core, along with the Fuse brothers, of Kalani soccer in the last 3 or 4 years. He just played so many quality minutes, and he hit 2 very, very good goals to lead them 2-0, and thought those would be game winners, but there's a lot of game left.
Yeah, some fun. We had a lot of opportunities to pick from in our Taco Bell play of the game, and with a number of goals in this match, a number of quality saves as well. A lot of contenders for our play of the game, as always, brought to you by Taco Bell. Get a look out at it, and, well, this is the one that leveled the match. And, boy, was it a beauty.
Ooh, just a little inside-outside move there, and just hitting it, like you said, to that far post. If it wasn't going to go in, he was giving his team some sort of chance, a rebound or a cross.
So it's Iolani 3-2 as they advance on to tomorrow's state championship match. But, boy, they had everything they could handle from this Kalani squad. We got an honorable mention. If you go 5 goals, you got a number of saves. We got to go honorable mention Taco Bell play of the game. And have to work this into a few more of our broadcasts as well. Robbie Pruner was terrific for Kalani. Abara, this was after his second goal, nearly stung in another one, and it was Pruner denying him. That was high-quality save.
Yeah, because at that time he was getting challenged. He let in a couple of goals, and here able to make that big save, keep the match even.
So look at the updated brackets. Iolani is through. The Raiders into the championship match, 7 o'clock tomorrow, just down the road at Waipio Peninsula Soccer Complex. Who are they going to play? Mililani, Hilo in our second semifinal. We'll be back with you in about 20 minutes or so, roughly, for the Vikings and the Trojans for that final spot into tomorrow's state championship match. That'll do it for us in semifinal number 1. For Brent Murakami, the rest of the folks here at Spectrum. Again, congratulations to Iolani rallying from 2 goals down. They defeat Kalani 3-2. We will be back with you in about 20 minutes or so for semifinal number 2. Aloha, everybody.